Hello everyone, I'm Jason from StrataGames, and today we are playing some more Pauper. This is Grixis Dredge, which is a deck that I have brewed myself. The idea is to dredge with Stinkweed Imp to fill our graveyard as quickly as possible, in order to find our sneaky snackers in the deck and be able to get them back from the graveyard very quickly, and also to play Tolarian Terrors for really cheap on turn 2 or 3 if we're lucky. In order to fill our graveyard as fast as possible, we have Stinkweed Imps, Thought Scours, and Faithless Lootings. In order to get our sneaky snackers back, we need to draw 3 cards in a turn, which is 2 plus our normal card draw. We do that with Faithless Looting, Highway Robbery, and Brainstorm can do it on any player's turn. We can also add up our card draw with Thought Scour and Scrapwork Mutts in order to get to those 3 cards for the turn. We also have 2 Deep Analysis and Lorien Revealed, tons and tons of ways to draw cards. Deep Analysis, Faithless Looting, and Scrapwork Mutt are all also cards we're happy to mill so that they're able to come back or be cast from the graveyard. And for a little bit of removal, we have 4 Lightning Bolts and 1 Breath Weapon. Might need more than 1 Breath Weapon, we will definitely find out. We have 17 lands plus our 4 Lorien Revealeds for 21 sources total. Some islands, some mountains, a single swamp because the only black spells in our deck are Stinkweed Imp and Sneaky Snagger, which ideally we won't be casting but we'll be getting back from the graveyard. We have Molten Tributaries and Contaminated Aquifers, which can be fetched with the Lorien Revealed, and we also have a couple Seething Landscapes to fetch any of our basics or to cycle when we have too many lands. As for the sideboard, we have some Blue Elemental Blasts, some Red Elemental Blasts and Pyroblasts, Gorilla Shamans for Affinity, Cast into the Fire for Affinity and any go-wide decks. We have Breath Weapon for more go-wide decks, and a couple Spell Bombs for any graveyard decks. And I'm pretty excited for it. So let's jump right into the games. Alright, here we are, round 1. We have Scrapwork Mutt and our Stinkweed Imps, so that's pretty good. Counterspell's not bad. We're going to keep it. Also, all of our colors of mana. Play a Molten Tributary and pass. Looks like mono red. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We're going to play just Scrapwork Mutt for now. Discard the Stinkweed and Dredge. Pass the turn. We got 2 Sneaky Snackers and a Deep Analysis. Well, that's great. We can get those snackers next turn. We do have to pay 3 life for it, which is a real cost against mono red, but still, getting back 2 snackers is pretty strong. Goblin Tomb Raider. I'll happily trade if they give us the option, but they will not. Galvanic Blast for the Mutt. Gonna swing for 2 here. Draw Thought Scour. I wish we had an untapped land because I could Scrapwork Mutt to draw a card and Thought Scour to draw a card, get the Sneaky Snackers back without using the Deep Analysis. Could hold up Counterspell, but I might as well get the 2 snackers that can trade, even though it does cost us 3 life. We'll see how this goes. Get those snackers, and I guess I'll throw down an Aquifer in case we want to play one of these Stinkweed Imps. They have Kuldotha Rebirth. Let's hope they don't have a Bushwhacker. Otherwise, we're screwed. There it is. I guess we should have held the Counterspell. We're down to 5. Let's play a Tributary and pass. Or I could just play a Stinkweed Imp as a blocker. We'll hold up the Counterspell. Probably should have done that already, knowing that they might have had the turn 3, but sometimes you just gotta go for it. They have a Synth into a mountain, do another Tomb Raider, and swing. This will put us at 1, and we will Thought Scour on the end step. Draw an island, draw Deep Analysis. I don't think that's going to cut it. I guess it's possible we could get a Breath Weapon from this Scrapwork Mutt, so let's go for that. We have to actually draw though, so don't really need to bin a Stinkweed Imp. Got a Brainstorm. I think we'll go to the next game. We lost. Should have held up that Counterspell, I suppose. Let's bring in Cast into the Fire and 2 Breath Weapons. We also get our Blue Elemental Blasts. Take out our Deep Analyses for sure. Don't really want to cut creatures, so maybe I just go like 1 of each of some of these. Don't really want to cut removal either. I guess we can get rid of 1 Stinkweed Imp maybe. A little expensive. Alright, we have an island. That's it. We're going to have to mulligan that. So now we have our mana, Lightning Bolt, Stinkweed, Scrapwork. Keep this one. Put back the Faithless Looting, I think. Play a Tributary and pass. Ugh, they have the turn 1 Tomb Raider. Sneaky Snacker's not bad. Let's just play our Scrapwork Mutt, bin the Stinkweed Imp, and get it back. We didn't add anything pertinent, but 4 spells does mean a Terror's pretty cheap if we get it. They have a Synth into an Epicure. We'll definitely trade for the Tomb Raider here. Gladly. Brainstorm. Kind of wanted this snacker in the graveyard before we Brainstorm, but we do have 2 of them, so we'll just go for it. Gotta see the landscape and a Breath Weapon. I think we're going to put back a Stinkweed Imp and maybe the other one. We already have decent graveyard for a Terror. We can Scrapwork Mutt next turn to ditch the Sneaky Snacker, and then we can Brainstorm it back. Plus we have Breath Weapon, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, we'll get rid of both Stinkweed Imps. I don't really need them. Play a Landscape and pass. This one of Swamp screwing us over here. I can't cast Lightning Bolt or Brainstorm. They have an Epicure and a Bushwhacker. Annoying. We're going to get another red source, I guess, in case we want to like Lightning Bolt and Scrapwork. Cast into the Fire's not bad. That means I can take out a couple of these guys without having to waste the Breath Weapon on just a couple 1/1s. We'll pass for now. Still not getting the Snacker in the grave, which is not great in this matchup. We're going to go for the Cast of the Fire. I could use this to get rid of Synth or something, but I think I prefer to do this, force them to recommit to the board, and then I can Breath Weapon away. They're just going to pass here. So now I can Scrapwork Mud, pitch the Snacker, draw Lightning Bolt, swing for 2. I can get the Snacker back with the Brainstorm. I might just Lightning Bolt this Epicure just to get it off the table. We'll see what they do. Tomb Raider into a Bushwhacker. Well, wish I had my Breath Weapon up now, but I guess I will just Lightning Bolt the Tomb Raider. Die to a Lightning Bolt in hand, potentially. Nope, supposed to Brainstorm at the end step there to get the Snacker back. That was a bit of a misplay. However, it's not that big of a deal, maybe. Play a Terror and pass. Leave up my Breath Weapon finally. Just hasn't been a great opportunity to do so before. Lightning Bolt off the top. I don't think I can draw a counterspell because I have no blue mana up, but I guess I'll Brainstorm. Alright, not a good first match here. A little tough for us, probably a bad matchup. We might need more Breath Weapons in the main deck. For that, we could do some like Reckoner's Bargains, but that's only if we want to sack a Tolarian Terror, which isn't great. I could put an Unexpected Fangs in the sideboard. Good on Terror, decent on Sneaky Snacker. Alright, round 2 here. Hoping it goes better, but this hand is not the greatest start. There we go, there's some mana and stuff. Put back a Brainstorm. We do have Brainstorm, Shuffle, and Thought Scour, so I could just put back a Lorien Revealed. Kind of like that, actually. It's possible that I won't draw another land, but I have like 2 different Brainstorms to try to do it, so I guess we'll put back the Lorien. Keep the Scrapwork Mutt, because it makes it better if we draw an Imp. Alright. No, not put back the Tributary. We were putting back the Lorien. Play the Tributary. There we go. Island into Fairy Miscreant. Mono Blue Fae, I'm going to guess. Deep Analysis. Let's just Brainstorm. Lightning Bolt. Would be good if I could cast that. Do get the Stinkweed Imp. We're shuffling away because we have to play this landscape and I need another color of mana. So what do I want to put back? I don't need both Brainstorms. I guess I really don't need this Deep Analysis right now either, but I might want it against Fae at some point. Yeah, we'll just put it back. Play the landscape and pass. I think we'll grab an island since we have a couple of blue 1-drops here. See what we're facing here. Instead of the Miscreant, a Ninja. No? Just the 1 damage, which is good. And they're going to pass. Crack the landscape for an island. They are holding up Spellstutter Sprite, so we are unlikely to cast either of these during the main phase. In fact, I can't even cast the Scrapwork Mutt. Sneaky Snacker's fine. Yeah, so I can't Mutt for Stinkweed right now. But I can't even Brainstorm to try to hit my land drop. I guess I could Thought Scour to bait it out, but I think we're just going to pass. If they didn't have another Fairy, then I could Brainstorm and then Lightning Bolt the Spellstutter, but since they have 2, even if I kill the 1 Spellstutter Sprite, they'll still have another Fairy to counter the 1-drop. Gonna take 1 here again. They're gonna pass. I mean, I can't afford to do nothing again, so I guess I will Thought Scour to try to bait it. It's the lowest value card here. So I guess they could like Spell Pierce it. Yeah, they got the Spell Stutter, which is annoying, but fine. I will still Brainstorm here. See if they have a Spell Pierce or something. Force Spike, nice. Okay, Sneaky Snacker. Guess we're just gonna Scrapwork Mutt the Stinkweed Imp. Hit a Deep Analysis and a Terror. Pass. They're gonna swing for 2. They got the Ninja this time. Pick up the Spell Stutter, I'm guessing. Draw a card and pass. Breath Weapon's good if I can get a 3rd mana. Gotta leave back Scrapwork to block this. I guess we got a Deep Analysis. It's a 4-drop, so they can't Spell Stutter it. Hopefully it'll resolve and we can draw a land. They got a Snap, annoying, into a counterspell. Yeah, brutal. Okay. They have an Unwound Mind, and then a Fairy Miscreant, and then another Miscreant. Now we can't even Breath Weapon because they have enough fairies. So even if we draw a land here, we're pretty much screwed. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. If we had more mana, we could maybe try to bait it out with like a Lightning Bolt, but that is not going to work. 4, 5, 6. I guess we have a Terror for 1 mana. Sure, let's play a Terror. They have a counterspell. Alright, we're dead. Once again, we get our crowd control. Now we get our red blasts. Alright, this one looks okay. Let's try once again. Tributarian pass. Island pass for them. They could force spike, which would be pretty annoying, but I don't think that's going to stop us. We're going to play this Scrapwork Mutt. It resolves. Let's discard Stinkweed Imp and dredge it back. Got another Scrapwork and a Deep Analysis and another Stinkweed and 2 spells. That was a pretty good hit. Island pass from them. Do we want to dredge this Stinkweed Imp? We already have Breath Weapon and stuff. Sure, let's go for it. We hit another Deep Analysis, another Scrapwork. Okay, it's working a little bit. Let's swing for 2. I guess I could have brought back another Scrapwork. Ditched a Stinkweed, but I could just Deep Analysis. Sure, yeah, let's just draw 2, I guess. If this gets counterspelled, it's not a big deal since they don't have much going on. Okay. Prefer to hold up a lightning bolt here in case they had a flash creature or something rather than sack the landscape, though I do want to do that as well. They're going to Snare Master Sprite? Okay, I'd be happy for them to tap this down. I think I'll just lightning bolt that. If they want to spell stutter, fine. I can breath weapon if I really need. Yeah, so that's fine. Draw an island. Do I want a breath weapon? Or I could just play a Stinkweed? No, I can't because I don't have that black source yet. Good Scrapwork Mutt. I think I'm happy to just take out their 2 creatures, even if it takes out mine. Breath weapon. Gonna sack this landscape for our swamp so that I can actually start playing these guys as decent blockers. They're gonna hardcast an Of One Mind. I like that. And a Relic of Progenitus. I like that less. Can't crack it quite yet. How do we get the most out of our graveyard then? I guess maybe I should have gotten a mountain so I could double Scrapwork. We're gonna Deep Analysis before they can get rid of the relic. Oh, interesting. It's like some update that the card goes under the relic now. Haven't seen that before. Ooh, just drew a Terror. That's great. Let's play a Terror before it costs $1 million. We have 3 Scrapworks. Might as well play one of them. We'll just discard the Stinkweed Imp and draw. Yeah, we don't really need the Stinkweeds that much. I already have 1, and I'd prefer to just have a different card, use my mana efficiently, hit for 2, etc. Crack the Relic, play a Fairy Miscreant, pass. Casting the Fire's not bad. Let's swing with our Tolarian Terror, play a land. I'm going to cast a... Might as well bluff a counterspell. Gonna cast a Stinkweed Imp. If they want to counter it, totally fine, but if not, it's a pretty good blocker. Maybe it's worth keeping because it's a good blocker. Could Pyroblast this, but I can get the Stinkweed Imp back. I think I'd prefer to kill this now. Question is, do I want to cast into the fire and not get full value, or do I want to Pyroblast, but I don't save the Pyro? I think I'll just cast into the fire. We'll just get the Stinkweed Imp back next turn probably. Play it again, and they have to keep countering it every turn. They're gonna snap the Terror. Yep. I did think about that. I could have obviously held up the Pyroblast so that they couldn't have done that. This does actually take up 2 of their mana since they do still untap 2. Stinkweed Imp's going to help the Terror cost less, hopefully, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so it only costs 3. We got a Snacker as well, so if I go for the Highway Robbery, I get back a Snacker. It's not bad. Also makes the Terror cheaper. Sure, let's start with a Highway Robbery, sacking an island here. Or I could just discard the Stinkweed Imp. I'm not going to draw it back this turn because I want to get that Snacker, but I can discard it and then just get it back next turn. Discard a card. Don't choose it to replace for either draw, though. Oh, but we replaced our first draw this turn with the Stinkweed Imp, which means we've only drawn 2 cards. It's a learning curve. It's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's good to know. I would have replaced 1. Terror's only 2 mana, though, so I guess I'll play that. Hold up the Pyro for if they counterspell. They're going to Force Spike. I will accept. Okay. They probably just wanted to tap us out of Counterspell, which I think is reasonable, seeing as their Force Spike wasn't going to be doing a lot of good anyway. Hardcast Of One Mind. Love to see that. Island into Snare Master Sprite as a chump blocker. That's fine. Oh, and they concede. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I messed up there a little bit with the draw. I do need to be a little more conscious of how many cards have I drawn, seeing as I can replace them. We'll keep that in mind, but we did win that game, which is pretty nice. Anything I want to change here? I think we're all right. Let's try it again. I'm not fully convinced that I'm sideboarding correctly, taking out all our Faithless Lootings and Thought Scours, but the Faithless Looting is card disadvantage. Obviously, with the graveyard, it's decent, but this doesn't feel like a deck where I want to be playing against with cards that are disadvantaged for me. I want to be playing with as much advantage as possible, which is why I kept in the Deep Analyses. This one looks bad. We don't have red. We can play a Counterspell, but all we can play other than that is Scrapwork Mutt. We're going to have to mulligan that, I think. This one's a tiny bit better just because we have all our colors. We'll keep this and get rid of an island, I guess. Still not amazing here. Opponent unmulled a 5, though. Island, Fairy Seer to start. So if I want to go for a Brainstorm, I should do it now so they can't spell stutter. I just do a Pyro, though. Kind of just want to Pyro their Fairy Seer. so that they can't ninja. They did scry 1 to the top. I'm going to go for that. It's a little aggressive, but the way they get out of this mulligan is with a ninja on turn 2, and let's try to not let them have that. They do have a Relic of Progenitus. That's going to suck, because I was definitely hoping we could get this terror down pretty quick here. And that's looking like it won't happen now. Well, I'll just play a Scrapwork Mutt and bin an island, I guess. There's the Stinkweed Imp. 1 turn too late. If I could bin it right away and get it back and instantly have like 4 or 5 spells in our graveyard, then the Relic would be forced to pop, because otherwise we can get down a really quick terror. And that's not going to be the case now unless I draw another way to discard it. Molten Tributary. They only have 2 cards in hand, but they could have a Spell Stutter, so I don't really want to just go for a Brainstorm here. I think I'm just going to cast the Stinkweed Imp, honestly. If they counterspell and then Relic it, so be it, but I think I can live with that. And I might as well do something. If they can't really get any presence here, Stinkweed Imp's a really good blocker, adds a little bit to our attacking. So we have a 6-turn clock, which is not amazing by any means, but if they have a slow start, I mean, they have hard cast of One Mind here, then maybe the damage will get there. They're going to pass, missing a land drop, which is great. I can now play my Brainstorm. Drew a red Elemental Blast. That's not terrible. If I Brainstorm on my turn, though, they do get to Relic it away. That's not great, but if I draw like a Scrapwork Mutt or something, I can add to my attack here. I can make my clock a little bit faster, and without help, I'm not really getting this terror down anyway, so this Brainstorm in the grave doesn't really matter, so I'm just going to go for it. Another terror, another Brainstorm. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I put back here, because I can't play any of the blue stuff until next turn, so I'm just going to put back these 2 terrors, play this Tributary, and pass. We do get to hold up a red Elemental Blast, which is not bad, and they take the Brainstorm, unfortunately. They're gonna pass. I'm happy if they don't play anything. That seems good for me. Let's swing for 3, and I think we're just gonna leave up both counterspells. Since Brainstorm doesn't necessarily do that much, we know we're drawing 1 terror. Maybe we get another land or something, but it's not a big deal. I'd rather leave up the protection. That's a Spell Stutter Sprite. I'm gonna Red Blast that. I don't want them to get a ninja down. They have a Dispel. How important is it that I keep this off the field? They didn't have anything else to play. I'm going to say pretty important. I'm going to counter it. They're going to Relic of Progenitus. We know how it goes. Relic again. They hardcast a Moon Circuit Hacker. That's fine. They don't have Spell Stutter. I'm going to go for the Brainstorm now, see if I can get any interaction. They don't have a Dispel. Okay. We draw lands. I mean, if we can get enough land to just start hardcasting Tolarian Terrors, that's not terrible. I can't play this counterspell now, is the bad news. I can shuffle away, though, so maybe I put back 1 terror. I could put back 2 terrors, shuffle them both away, and then Scrapwork Mutt. They're not doing anything at the moment, and they're not looking to anytime soon. Yeah, we'll shuffle them away. I could just cycle this Seething Landscape. Let's attack. I think I probably want to play this Mutt either way, because if they don't attack, I want a blocker / another attacker, and if they do block, I want to still have my aggression. They're going to leave it. Hit for 3. So I could Scrapwork Mutt and draw back my terrors, but I don't want them. But I do want this counterspell, but I can't use it this turn, so let's just play a Scrapwork Mutt and not use its ability, I guess. And I can play this landscape, or I can just hold it as a new card draw, because I might not need the 5 mana. I don't know. We'll pass. I can play it next turn. There's only a small chance it really bites me, and that's if I draw like land, terror. They're gonna Relic. This Relic's been pretty good, kept away those terrors. It's almost like that's the idea or something. They have a snap. Moon Circuit to loot. Nope, they switch it out for a new Mern Circuit. We draw a terror. Oh, because I never shuffled. God. Look, I'm very smart. That's what you need to know. Yes, we're about to draw another terror that doesn't do us any good, so let's just Seething Landscape, crack it, Scrapwork Mutt. I thought it out so well, but then I simply forgot that I knew the top and I had to shuffle if I didn't want to draw them back. So let's play a Scrapwork Mutt, discard this terror, because it still costs 2 mana that I can't afford. Draw back another terror. I shuffled this time. I know that. I know I shuffled. They have a Spell Stutter. Should I counter that? They have a Moon Circuit Hacker in hand, so I'm going to say yes. They're going to go to combat. Having this Scrapwork Mutt doesn't necessarily change our clock, so I am going to block, especially because they have another one in hand, so it's a draw, not just a loot. Plus, we can unearth this for decent value, assuming they don't pop their Relic, which if they do, I can live with that, I think. It's at least off the field. They're going to play another hacker. Pass. We got a Stinkweed Imp. Well, I don't think they can counter that, so let's swing with both. Okay, they are going to block this time. I'm going to play the Imp. Pass. Maybe I'll get there with just the Stinkweed Imps. Of One Mind. That's pretty good. For us, that is. Island. Pass. We still know they have a Moon Circuit Hacker, but nothing else. Another terror. Well, we're going to unearth this guy. This Scrapwork Mutt, we're definitely going to ditch a Terror. Get rid of one of them for a Mountain. That means we can almost play the Terror in hand. Attack for 4, have a Spell Stutter. They can go for a chump or a trade, but this guy's gone either way. So yeah, absorb the 2. Play a Mountain and I'll pass. They have a Ninja of the Deep Hours. That doesn't block a Stinkweed Imp. Get a Highway Robbery. Let's start with that. Sacking a land. Draw 2. And they concede! Woo! I kind of wanted to see what we were going to draw. No, it's glitching. Okay, well, we got there. That's pretty sick. We have Faithless, double Stinkweed Imp, Seething. Sure, this is an interesting one. But we've got an interesting deck, so let's give it a try. Faithless Looting, ditch 2 Stinkweed Imps. Against Elves, it looks like. Llanowar Elves. We're gonna dredge 1 Stinkweed Imp. We get a Sneaky Snacker, 2 Terrors, ooh, and 2 lands. That is not what we wanted. We do get to bolt this Elves and play a landscape. Crack that for an island and we'll pass. They have an Elvish Mystic, and just that, well, I'm gonna definitely kill that one as well. Let's dredge again. See if we get anything better. Scrapwork Mutt and a bunch more lands still. Well, I could Scrapwork and Thought Scour in order to get the Snacker back. No, because I dredged. Let's not forget. So I've only drawn 0 cards so far. So I can't get up to 3, which is good because I was going to potentially convince myself not to bolt this Elvish Mystic, but I think I would like to do that. Let's play Mountain and pass. They have a Birch Lore Rangers. Back to us. We're going to Thought Scour, get a Counterspell, Lorien Revealed, and another Thought Scour. Island. Let's pop out that graveyard. Okay, so here we can Faithless Looting and Thought Scour to get back our Snacker. It's only 1 Snacker, though. Well, this hasn't gone as intended. If we drew any of those Terrors, they would be really cheap right now. That would be sick. Yeah, I guess we'll Faithless Looting. Draw 2. I guess I don't need a Thought Scour because that's 2 and I haven't dredged yet. There's a Terror. Okay, so we'll get rid of both Stinkweed Imps here. Get back our Sneaky Snacker and play our Terror. Now, they're Elves, so they could come back from this, but they didn't have a second land, and this doesn't tap for mana yet. Now it does. We have 7 damage now, and we have a counterspell up. Do I want to dredge again? I don't think so. If I dredge, what's the best I can get? Like a Deep Analysis? More Snackers? No, I'll just draw. Island, that's not bad. I can cast everything in hand now. Swing for 7, pass the turn. Maybe I should Thought Scour now in case I do like a Highway Robbery. Well-Wisher. It might let them play another card, and it's going to hinder our ability to kill them quickly, so we're just going to counter that. Stinkweed Imp, we will skip again. Let's Brainstorm. That's not bad. Although we don't want to Brainstorm now if we're going to hit a Snacker. Let's Thought Scour first. Get back a Stinkweed Imp. Ooh, they conceded. All right. Going up against all the small creature decks, we want to bring in these 3 cards again. Don't have anything else to bring in, though, unfortunately. Maybe just ditch the Thought Scours. Maybe the Deep Analyses. The Thought Scours help us get a fast Terror, and we do need to go fast if we're going to win this one. Fast / we need to find our Breath Weapons, so we don't really want to cut our ways to find things either. Maybe for that reason, Stinkweed Imp's not as good, because we don't really want to bin our Breath Weapons. I mean, I'll still keep a couple. Yeah, we'll try it like that. Lightning Bolt's not bad, although it's only a turn 2 Lightning Bolt because we don't have any red. Brainstorm, Thought Scour. I guess we'll keep it. It's not amazing. Opponent mulliganing. We got the Llanowar Elves. Let's see if we draw a Mountain. I guess we got to start with the Seething Landscape and pass. Hope they don't get too fast of a start here. Well-Wisher and a Birch Lore Rangers. We're going to get a Mountain. They already are down to 2 cards. Obviously, they could have a Winding Way or something like that, but I might need to shoot the Well-Wisher so that they don't gain too much life. Counterspell. I think we got to play an island so we can, like, Brainstorm or something, and sure, I'll shoot the Well-Wisher now. Should maybe do that in upkeep because they could have, they could have something here, Protection Spell. Hollow. I don't have a counterspell for that, so that's annoying. Well, they have a Spare Sentinel. And swing for 2. Okay, I think I can live with that. Let's set an upkeep stop because I'm probably going to Brainstorm Thought Scour. We're at 1, 2 spells in grave. Ooh, we got a Sneaky Snacker. So let's put back Snacker, Brainstorm. Sure. Thought Scour in our upkeep. Draw Lorien Revealed. Draw for turn. We get another Thought Scour. So we're at 4 spells. So I can't quite play a Terror this turn. I can play it next turn, though. We've already drawn 2 this turn. So I could get back this Snacker with either a Thought Scour or a Scrapwork Mutt. Let's cycle this Lorien for an island, play it, Thought Scour, and get back that Snacker, draw another counterspell. They are thinking. I don't really know what Elves splashes all the time. Obviously they have this hollow, but thought that came to mind is that they could be playing like a Thraben Charm. That wouldn't be bad. Good removal in their deck and hits graveyards. So just a thought. I don't know. They're tapping for a blue, so that's pretty bad. That could be a Distant Melody. Looks like it. Weren't able to hold up Counterspell that turn. So they drew 4, Quirion Ranger, untap the Elves, play another one, tap Well-Wisher. Alright, we need to find a Breath Weapon and hope they don't have another Hollow. Cast Another Fire is a good start. Let's play Seething Landscape so that we can hold up a counterspell. And right now, take out Quirion Well-Wisher. I guess we can wait till end step if they try anything and do it in their upkeep if not. I think we will leave back Snacker because they're at too much life for this to be that relevant right now. So let's cast Into the Fire, Well-Wisher. I guess this lets them untap the Well-Wisher, so that might be a little silly. But they didn't, if they would have untapped it on our end step anyway with the Quirion Ranger. Yeah, I don't know. They have an Elvish Vanguard. That's going to grow big, but it's not. Well, they probably know we have a counterspell now. Kind of wanted to counter it, but it's not as bad as Timber Watch Ranger or a draw spell. So let's just wait, I suppose. Lightning Bolt's pretty good. That can take out the Vanguard. I could play a Terror, but I do really think I need to hold up a counterspell. And Terror doesn't do that much here, so I'm going to just play this and pass, I guess. We'll crack the Landscape to get our Black Source maybe. They have another Vanguard. That's fine. We'll let it go just like before. They have another Well-Wisher. That one will counterspell. And we'll Lightning Bolt the Ranger. No, the Vanguard while it's not too big. Crack the Landscape for... Could do a black. Right now we have a way to get rid of either of our black spells. I guess I don't need that much more blue. I'll just grab our Swamp. Draw a Brainstorm. They can block here, but we can get it back. And might as well play out this Terror and just pass. They have a Priest of Titania. They've already had the mana, like all the mana they wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't think that's a big deal. We will Brainstorm on the end step to use our blue. Another Brainstorm and a counterspell. Sure. Let's put back these guys. Draw. I guess I'll swing with both. We gotta put a dent in them. I'm gonna play this Scrapwork Mutt, so I'll have a blocker. I'll pitch this Tributary because I don't think we really need a 6th land right now. We have Counterspell for anything super relevant. We will Counterspell a Distant Melody. I'm hoping they don't have 2, but I think that's kind of what they've been waiting for, is to have 2 of them. No? Nice. I guess we're in luck then. Another Tributary. Let's swing with the team. I still want to leave a guy back. We'll leave back the Mutt. Swing for 7. Let's Brainstorm. Stinkweed, Lightning Bolt, Highway Robbery. Those are some pretty good cards. Let's put back these 2. I guess I could Highway Robbery now, sacking a land, and then just play the Molten Tributary. Might as well, I think. Sacrifice, Mountain, play the Tributary, and pass. Drew a Timber Watch. I think I'm going to just Lightning Bolt that. Unless I need to Lightning Bolt the Vanguard, because it's going to start getting bigger. I think we're going to take that chance. We'll take 3. I just think if I counterspell this and next turn they have a draw spell, we're going to lose. But then again, maybe if they have a protection spell here, then I would be in big trouble. Well, I get to play this Stinkweed Imp, which can block the Elvish Vanguard, so I guess I'll just swing with the whole crew here and play a Stinkweed Imp. Pass. Finally got him down to a manageable life total. They have a Well-Wisher. Finally got him down. I think I have to counterspell the Well-Wisher, because otherwise it could be ages until I draw another removal spell. And in the meantime, they basically offset our damage every turn. So I think we have to take that chance. Breath Weapon's a pretty nice draw. Let's just swing with the team, I guess. They take 10, down to 4, and we'll pass. Maybe I should have just done it there. I knew they didn't have like a hollow or something, because they would have had a Lightning Bolt. We will take 4, and if I Breath Weapon here, I should just be able to kill them with Terror. Whereas if I don't, they have blockers. Guess we'll go for the Breath Weapon. Boom, beat Elves. Very nice. All right, no lands, some lands. We'll keep this one. Get rid of, kind of like being able to just discard both of these Deep Analyses to like the Scrapwork Mutt. So I think we'll get rid of the Thought Scour. If we're against red, this is going to suck. But if we're against anything more controlling, it's going to be fine. Time to cry? Okay, time to cry. This is how you manifest a red opponent. Is you just keep cards that are only good against non-red players. Definitely need a better main deck for red. Maybe another Breath Weapon or 2, but also just find some way to put in life gain. Maybe I do put like 1 Unexpected Fangs in the main deck. I don't hate it in the main deck in some matches, or rather in some decks. Kind of like it in some versions of like Gardens and things like that. So maybe I could fit 1 in here. When it gets milled or discarded, it's just another spell, so it doesn't really matter what it is. But it is a black spell, which I was trying to keep to just my creatures, but I think maybe I have to accept that that's not the right way to do it. Anyway, we'll take 2 more here, but nothing else from them. Play my Scrapwork Mutt. It'll probably eat a Lightning Bolt or a Galvanic Blast. We're going to get this amazing value by ditching this Deep Analysis, which we will certainly be casting for its flashback cost of 1, a blue, and 3 life. They bolt us. I mean, they weren't playing creatures, so it does make sense that they kind of just have a burn-heavy hand. Another Tomb Raider. We'll block. Not the End the Festivities. That is brutal. I too like an End the Festivities in the main deck of red. Terror, but not enough spells in the grave for that to be relevant yet. I guess I could brainstorm into like a mountain and a lightning bolt. That's about all I can do. There's a lightning bolt, but no mountain. I can get a mountain off of this or this, but they're tapped, so I'm down to 4 no matter what. There's no way I survive at 4, so we're just going to go to the next game. It's okay. We get these. We get these. And if we really want, we even get a couple of these. I'm not sure we really want, though. Let's cut the Deep Analyses, because they're the worst. Let's see, we want to go fast. So Stinkweed, Thought Scour, Faithless Looting all let us do that. Faithless is a little slower. I don't know. We'll cut a couple of these. It's hard to make cuts in this deck, I think. Everything looks pretty solid. We can Lightning Bolt on turn 2. Not if we want a Lorien. We do have Blue Elemental and another Lightning Bolt. We're going to keep this. There's no way we're throwing this back with removal, lands, and counterspell. Even though everything comes into play tapped, I can at least play this. Next turn, cycle a Lorien for an island, which can hold up our Blue Elemental Blast. Next turn, cycle the second Lorien for maybe our Contaminated, so we can play a Sneaky Snacker the following turn. It's not great. It's where we're at. Ooh, Snow-Covered Mountains. They do not fear the Thermokarst, which is interesting in a burn deck. Voldaren Epicure. Draw the island. Okay, so we can just hold up Lightning Bolt and Blue Elemental. I think that's worth it. If we don't end up using both, we can cycle a Lorien for Contaminated. Aquifer, that is. Admittedly, this is a very pretty mountain, so I understand the desire. Another Epicure. I could counter that on the stack. I think we're going to just let it go. It is good. It's 1 damage and whatnot, but I don't think it's what we want to counter. We do have 2 lightning bolts, and I can't afford to let these both go through every turn, so I will kill this one. No second land for them, though, is pretty good. That gives us a fighting chance, at least. Finally pull out that Aquifer. Try to get this Snacker down relatively quickly. We got a Terror. We're only at 2 spells, but we can get there in a couple turns. Pass back to them, holding up the same thing we had last turn. Now that we know they're missing a land draw, if they go for like a Synth or something, we will probably counter it so that they can't hit that land, ideally. If they're just going to blast us, not even for 4 damage, for 2, we'll take it. I can live with that. And they're going to Epicure. Kind of want to shoot it just so I can get closer to this Terror. So I think we'll do that. At 3 spells in grave, 4 with this Lorien. Do we need another red? No. With 4 in the grave, we can play a Terror for 3 and still hold up Blue Elemental Blast, so we're going to do that. And with only 1 land on their side, hopefully we can just finish this up pretty quickly, just with 4 clean attacks. This holds back any haste creatures they can really play. Even with Pyroblasts, they're not going to be able to kill it for 2 turns. I think we actually do just let this go, and we only counter things that are going to stop the Terror. I think so. I could regret that, because if this finds them their land, that's pretty rough for us. But if it finds an Epicure that he can't play, I'm okay with it. Do a Lorien revealed. That's not bad. I could play that. I'd rather get this Snacker down to increase our clock. It actually doesn't increase our clock at all unless we draw like a Lightning Bolt, but that's okay. I'd prefer to play the Snacker anyway and also hold up the Blue Elemental Blast. Maybe next turn we can get the Lorien down. They finally found their second mountain. Blast Runner. We're going to let that go. It's a chump blocker, but nothing more. Same with the second one. We can also blow them up later if we really want with the Blue Elemental. I think if we draw nothing here, we probably are playing Lorien. Ooh, never mind. Maybe if we play Lorien, the chances of us hitting an island are decent. Then we can hold up Blue Elemental, but that's not guaranteed. Or we could just hold up double Counterspell. I think that's better. We're on a 3-turn clock here. Obviously with chumps, it's a little bit more, but the way we lose here is they lucky Kuldotha into Bushwhacker or something, so cannot afford to fully tap out here, I don't think. So hit for 7, they don't even block. They're going to pass. Sure, I'm just going to keep my cards. Another Terror. Still costs 3 mana. Probably play that. Just a pity I can't hold up both of these. Actually, I could cycle Lorien. Terror only costs 2, and then pick up another island. And I could hold up both, so I might do that, actually. They're going to sack a blood. Okay. discarding an implement, probably going for the double block on the Terror for the trade, which is fine. Oh, and they have a lightning bolt for the Snacker. Still 4 cards in hand. It's a lot. I'm going to let the Snacker die. If they go for the double block, I'm going to Blue Elemental blast one of their guys, keep my Terror alive, and then play a second one. And then I get to still hold up Counterspell because now Terror will only cost 2. Kill one, go to damage, kill the other. Terror for 2. And now I have a Counterspell and lethal attack. So they have to have 2 blockers to survive or 2 removal spells. Synth is fine. That doesn't do anything they need it to. So I'm not going to waste a Counterspell on that. Grave Furnace is decent for them. At least it gives them their mana back. Kuldotha Rebirth the Synth. I think we're going to have to counter that. Another Synth off the top, so that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm going to have to counter that because it blocks both our guys. If they have a Pyro, they're going to get us back, get to keep their Kuldotha, but if not, we got the game. Nice. Obviously, they got stuck on 1 land there, but I wouldn't mind another game similar to that. I don't mind if they get their lands, but also, you know, we want to have all the answers is the goal. Yeah, I think we just run it back. Always thinking about the Gorilla Shamans, but we already sided in 6 cards. I really don't think we can afford to side in any more, especially non-spells for spells. I guess I could put these in place of like some of the Scrapwork mods, but then our deck runs just a little worse. This one looks not very good. Seething Landscapes are definitely ruining us a little bit. I might need to cut down to just 1. Play a landscape, crack it for red. We don't even get to dredge or anything until the next turn. Don't have Lightning Bolt. No, this one's not going to do it. This one's not bad. Breath Weapon's really good. Highway Robbery. We keep our 3 lands. So do we want to get rid of which of these draw spells? Probably just the Thought Scour, I think. So we got to survive until turn 3. Relic of Progenitus. Okay, so Terrors are out, but that means they're a little bit slower on the start, so I'm okay with it. Lightning Bolt? Sure. I could play a Mountain so that I have Lightning Bolt up in case they Tomb Raider, but then I can't Brainstorm, and I don't get my tap land down. I think we'll just Contaminate Aquifer and eat the 2 if they have it, especially since we're going to want a Breath Weapon anyway. I guess that's fine. They have an Implement of Combustion and a Blast Runner. I can bolt the Blast Runner, Counterspell. I think I'd prefer to have a Bolt up when they go to pump it. I'll probably just Bolt and then Brainstorm on the end step. Save the Breath Weapon for a Kuldotha or, you know, them jamming 2 or 3 creatures. Synthesizer. Gotta let that go. Into a Great Furnace. Hitting their land drops this time. They have another Relic. Really got to get rid of those Terrors. We don't want to see any of them. Crack the Implement. We'll just go for the Lightning Bolt now on the Blast Runner. We're going to pass. We're going to Brainstorm. There's a Terror. Does not seem very good, so let's put that on the bottom. And we're about to draw something else back, so it doesn't really matter. I think we want to have Counterspell up. I might cycle this Lorien to get rid of that Terror. Yeah, they did remember to use their relics, so definitely don't want to draw that Terror. If they Kuldotha, I probably just let it resolve because I have the Breath Weapon. Try to draw out a Bushwhacker. Epicure's fine. That's just going to be collateral with the Breath Weapon. They do have the Kuldotha. We're going to let it go. Hope that they have the Bushwhacker. In this one instance, perfect. Out of cards, we're going to Breath Weapon. Drew it up perfectly. They get rid of it. Do we want to... I forgot to set a stop in my upkeep, so I couldn't cycle the Lorien, which I was probably going to do. I can just Highway Robbery it away, though. Then I can't hold up Counterspell, but they're top decking, so I don't really need to hold up a Counterspell this turn, I'm hoping. So yeah, we'll just Highway Robbery, ditch this Terror, discard, draw Snacker, another Counterspell. We'll just play the Tributary and pass. Snacker's just going to get hard cast, more than likely, seeing as it's not going to make it through the graveyard very well. But Snacker blocks Synth, the Samurai, that is, pretty nicely. I might try to hold on to this Lorien revealed for a turn or two so that we can maybe draw 3 off of it. Since we're at 18 and they don't have many cards in hand, we can maybe get away with it. And I'd rather not turn it into a land if all we're going to draw is more lands, you know? They play another Synth into a Synth, where they crack a Synth into a Synth into a Synth. So, Synth Chain here. Relic. Another land. There we go. So I'll probably Lorien next turn. I Snacker here. I don't get to hold up Counterspell, which is pretty annoying, but I would like to have a blocker for this. And if they want to bolt this and exile it, I can survive that. I'll be fine. I can live with that. They have a Kuldotha. Well, that's why I wanted that Counterspell. And the Festivities, that's pretty annoying too. So I gotta find another Breath Weapon, which is why I'm gonna hardcast this Lorien revealed, but is gonna mean I have to take another hit of 5 at least next turn. They got the Relic. With 2 relics, even if I Brainstorm, they could take it away after. Another land. Alright. Well, you gotta just go for this Lorien. Hope to get lucky. I don't mind the lightning bolts, but would have liked an untapped land with them. And then I can almost play the Terror. Chain Lightning to the face. It's not the worst, but it does put us down to 7. Brainstorm. So I can lightning bolt, hold up double counter. Probably not gonna need double counter though, so let's just go for a Brainstorm, see if I hit something good. Snacker, Lorien. I can play Snacker, hold up the lightning bolts, and a counterspell. Sure, we'll put these back like this, so I can play the Aquifer. Maybe I can even get down that Terror next turn. 2 lightning bolts, counterspell. We will see. They're gonna swing. I'm gonna block, and I'm gonna bolt one of these, but I'm gonna leave the other so I can counterspell if I need to. They could have a Goblin Grenade. Chain Lightning. I could throw it back at them. I should probably counterspell a Chain Lightning, because that means the 2 goblins are lethal, but also so is anything else they top deck, and I might as well use the mana now. Obviously, they could get something worse. Gonna have to take that chance. I think they're gonna pop a Relic here, though, finally. Get rid of all those cards and see if they draw, like, a Goblin Grenade. Pop the other Relic, okay. Tomb Raider and a Mountain. That's not too bad. Drawing a Terror. We have 7 lands, so I bolt Tomb Raider and then I can Terror. Living on the edge here, but if I survive this turn, I get a Lorien revealed. And I think our next draw is also a Lorien revealed, right? No, it's another counterspell. Land off the top for them is pretty good. Hey, if we get to Lorien here with counterspell backup, yep, we might be able to turn it around. Go for the Lorien. Double blue Elemental Blast and a Terror. That's pretty good. Okay, we got to chill for a turn, but next turn we can play another Terror and start beating in. They were playing all the lands that they drew, and they didn't just play the land, so I'm guessing it's not just a land. Okay, so Terror costs 5, which means we can just play that and hold up 2 of these again. I think that's what we're doing. We'll play the Scrapwork next turn. Swing for 5, put them to 15, and play another Terror. Pass the turn. They're going to swing with both. We're going to block and just take 1, I think. Counter the spells they cast rather than kill this goblin. They have a lightning bolt, so we're going to counterspell. I don't want to go to 1 because then any Voldaren Epicure or Implement of Combustion can kill me. They're going to pass. And I did the blue Elemental Blast in case they did have another one like a Goblin Grenade. Seething Landscape, we're going to cycle that. Might as well just cycle it with the Scrapwork Mutt. Ditch the Landscape, get a Stinkweed Imp. Put them to 5. We just need to hit with 1 Terror next turn. So I'm not going to play the Stinkweed Imp because it would mean we could only hold up 1 counterspell. And with 2 counterspells here, I'm not sure what they can do because they only have 2 cards. And if I can counter them both, I should be in the green, in the black, in the whatever color's good in this situation. Galvanic Blast is only 2 damage, but I might as well counterspell it. And another one, it's also only 2 damage, but I will counterspell that as well, just in case there's some weird glitch and that this is a goblin artifact that I didn't realize. Ooh, all right, we're doing pretty well. Let's move on to the last round. All right, round 5 here. We have just the 1 land, not even a way to cast Faithless, so we're going to get rid of it. 3 land, plus a Lorien, Brainstorm, Stinkweed. We're going to keep this one. I put back the Stinkweed Imp. It's pretty good if we're able to find a way to discard it, because the Terror will do well. Maybe we'll put back a land, actually, because we have one with the Lorien. Sure, let's put back a Mountain. Get a little greedy with it. Play a Tributary and pass. Since we can find our 3rd land anyway, it's not the end of the world, and I like to keep my spells when I can. Looks like we're against red again. We're now 1-1 against red, so let's see if we can get the 2-1 out of red matches. I think we're going to just swamp, pass, and Brainstorm Lorien revealed. If I don't find anything to discard the Stinkweed Imp, I'll probably just shuffle it in. They have a Tomb Raider. They're going to swing for 3. I'll Brainstorm, although I don't have Lightning Bolt mana, so there's not much I can do here. Double Terror, but no way to get our Stinkweed or Snacker into the grave. Snacker actually will just play out. That's not bad. But we're pretty far away from these Terrors, so I think I'm going to get rid of one of them and the Stinkweed Imp. We'll take 3 here. No second land from them, though. That's good for us. Cycle the Lorien for... We'll just get an island. Get the Stinkweed Imp anyway. That's fine. Let's play a Snacker. Snacker trades with this, but it doesn't deter the Voldaren Epicure. So actually, maybe I just play the Stinkweed Imp. And if they kill it, because the Stinkweed Imp holds this back and still trades with the Terror, not the Terror, the Tomb Raider. And if they Lightning Bolt it, then I can maybe get like a really good hit and get the Terror down next turn. They're going to Galvanic it. Swing for 3. Down to 13, we're going to Dredge. We got 4 creatures in that dredge. Well, that's not quite what we wanted to see. So we have, what, 3 spells? I could play a terror, actually. They're still on 1 land. I think it actually is worth it to play the terror for 4. Just was hoping I could play it alongside one of these other creatures. But they have basically no way to kill this with only 1 mana and in red. So it's going to be really hard to get in, and hopefully this can just hold them back. No attacks. We're going to... Do I even want to dredge now that I have the terror down? I can get deep analysis. That's not good. I could get a faithless looting. That's fine. Kind of just want to draw. Let's just draw. Well, if it was an island, if I knew it was an island, I wouldn't have drawn it, guys. Come on. All right, let's get this Scrapwork Mutt. Discard the Tributary and not dredge. Get another land anyway. Problem is we are at 12 and they probably have enough burn in hand to kill us, so we do have to go aggressive here, I think. So I'm gonna swing with both. They're gonna take 7 and I'm gonna play Stinkweed Imp again. If I leave back terror, I'm gonna keep holding them back, but they're gonna keep drawing burn. Eventually they're gonna find their lands and they're gonna be able to just kill us. So I think our best bet is to try to kill them before they can get out of this mana stall. Seal of Fire is gonna open the way for their whole team to attack for 4. This is the bad part of this. I could dredge back a Stinkweed Imp. That means I could play a Snacker and a Stinkweed. No, because I only have 1 black source, so I'm not gonna do that, I guess. Tolarian Revealed is not great. I could play it, but I can't do anything else unless I get lucky with like a Mountain Lightning Bolt. And I'm not feeling lucky here, but I don't think I can attack with Terror this turn. So actually, I think we do need to play the Tolarian so that we can maybe draw some counter spells and maybe some more terrors. All right, well, I'll do what I just said I wasn't going to do. We're not going to dredge any of these. That's a terror. A couple Thought Scours. We're gonna pass. Hope we're not dead. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells in grave still. Thought Scours can help that. Kuldotha Rebirth. We really need our breath weapon. That would be ideal. They are gonna swing, probably wise. We're gonna block, take 2. Not gonna dredge because we need to draw a breath weapon. Lightning Bolt's fine, not great. Let's Thought Scour ourselves. We got a Sneaky Snacker and a Faithless Looting. We're not going to dredge. There's the breath weapon. Hey, we got there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Terror's only 1 mana. So actually, I might have a chance here. It's very close. And I don't have any counter spells, but we're going to attack for 5. They're going to take it. We can play a Terror and pass. And if we don't die here, we can breath weapon to clear all their attackers / blockers, and we can lightning bolt them, and we have 10 damage on board as well. If they drew another land, they might be able to just double lightning bolt us, and it's not great. But if they didn't, then they're going to have to find 6 damage with 1 mana, and that seems unlikely. They have a Blast Runner. We're not going to dredge, but we have a lightning bolt to clear their blocker and attack for 10. Look, all we need is for mono red to play on 1 land, and we just barely will win the game. And that's totally a fair... It's fine. Come on. Well, we were able to get there. We get these 6 cards again. Bring them in. Take out, what have we been taking out? The deep analyses, because those are bad. I think we've just been doing like a couple of each of these or something. Stinkweed Imps don't feel amazing. They block decently. I'll keep a couple in, but I actually do think this might be a matchup where we take a couple out. Maybe we take all of them out. What would that do? We can't get a crazy fast terror, but with Thought Scours, we can still get like a turn 3 or 4. We don't have a blocker that just keeps coming back, but if they lightning bolt it, we're paying 3 mana for it every turn. It's not great. Would I prefer a Thought Scour to Faithless Looting? Kind of. We're still testing. Let's just try it with no Stinkweed Imp. See if this deck just falls apart. 2 land with the Tolarian. Casting the Fire's not bad. Thought Scour, Brainstorm. We have a chance for an early terror. We're going to give it a go. It's not amazing. They have an Epicure. We have a Mountain. We could turn one Faithless, but that doesn't do that much, so let's get our blue down. They have a Kuldotha. We have a Scrapwork Mutt. Well, we're going to cast into the fire 2 of these guys for sure. It's good, but if they Bushwhacker, it's super necessary, so we're just going to do that. They do Lightning Bolt us. They have an Implement. Okay, hopefully that means no Bushwhacker. Nice. So we will take out 2 of these guys. Take 2 down to 13. And they pass right to us. We get to Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, let's just Scrapwork, pitch this Faithless Looting, I think. Get a Seething Landscape. Let's play an Aquifer. Pass. We're going to trade this off if we can. Nope, they're going to Galvanic it. Fair enough. They have another Kuldotha. Okay, we do need to find a breath weapon, as always. Swing for 2, down to 11. I think we got a Brainstorm. Casting the Fire's okay. It's breath weapon light. We have 1, 2, 3 cards in grave. If I put back Tolarian and Brainstorm here, and then I Thought Scour, I can hit a terror for 1 next turn. but then all I have is like lands. Kind of need this Lorien to stay in my hand, I think. And I might want to cycle this if there's any time to do that. So let's put back these two, play this mountain, pass. We're going to Thought Scour and cast into the fire. We're taking 3 down to 8, so we could be in real trouble. But if not, we get to play a Terror next turn for a couple of mana and hope we draw a counterspell, I guess? They're going straight to attacks. Let's play this card that should maybe just be another Breath Weapon. Take 3. They have another Epicure and another Kuldotha. Okay. We're going to Thought Scour, get a Snacker, get a Lightning Bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have a 1-mana Terror. Guess we got to cycle this Lorien for an island so that we can play a Snacker and then hold up Lightning Bolt. I think that's the best we got. Take out 3 of these guys, put us down to 3. Dead to a Lightning Bolt. Galvanic, that's why we shot one of them. But okay, they have a double Galvanic. All right, couldn't find the Breath Weapon. We do only have 2 of them in the deck, to be fair. Let's try it again. For all the marbles. I always wanted all of the marbles. Cast blue. Yeah, this one looks okay. No creatures. We did cut 4 of them, I guess. Opponent mulls to 6. We're going to start with the Tributary and pass. Mountain into Blast Runner. We draw Thought Scour. I think we're going to Faithless Looting, just try to dig for some relevant cards. Terror's not bad. We do have the fixings to maybe get it out pretty quickly. I think we're going to bin 1 Thought Scour, but I guess maybe we have to bin the other. Unless I want to get rid of like a counterspell. I kind of need this Lorien to hit my 3rd land drop. I guess if we Thought Scour into a quick Terror... We do have 2 counterspells. Yeah, I think maybe we'll get rid of one of them, actually. We're already at 3 spells in Grave. We're going to hold these up. This will put us to 4. Experimental Synth. Tempting, but I think we're going to have to be more conservative with our Blue Elemental. I think we really need to keep it for a Kuldotha. They did find a mountain, and if that was a mountain they desperately needed, then that'd be annoying. Ooh, Relic is bad. We can't counter it. But it is going to potentially screw up this Terror. They only get to take 1 from us right now. So we're at 2 now. We're going to cycle this Lorien for, I think, just an island. We might need the mana. We don't need black that much, especially since we cut the Stinkweed Imps, I say, and we draw a Snacker. So we're at 3. So with Thought Scour, I have to hit 2 spells. Or I could just cast in the fire the Relic. I think we're going to Thought Scour. If we get lucky, we can play the Terror, and if we don't, we can cast into the fire. We got lucky enough, 5, so I can play a Terror for 2. I can't play it for 1, but that's still about the same. If they crack this, I'll lose my Scrapwork Mutt, but hey, we'll have a very quick Terror down, which is really good. If they play a land and have a Goblin Grenade and spend their entire turn and creature to blow up our Terror, they can do that, but if they don't, we just have a 5/5 that we can start protecting pretty well. They do have a Kuldotha for the Synth. That means the Blast Runner does get Menace. So this is not turning out great still. Implement. We'll have to take 3 here. We did draw a Highway Robbery, which does allow us to play the Sneaky Snacker, or rather discard it and get it back on the field. If we don't draw a land, I can't cast into the fire, but I still hold up Blue Elemental, so I think we have to go for it. 2 more Snackers is not really what I wanted to see. I think we have to hold back. They have a Seal of Fire. Sack that, kill the Snacker, buff the Blast Runner. Can't do much about that. I could counter it, but they'll just have another bolt of some sort. They're going to throw it at our face, actually. Block a Goblin, and yeah, it's dealing us too much damage. I think I have to take it out now. They have a Tomb Raider. Pass. They have a Brainstorm. I can get back one of these Snackers once we discard it to a Scrapwork Mutt. Let's do that. Breath Weapon's not bad. We need to survive, though. I think I'm just swinging with the Terror, trying to get in for 5, and then blocking with both of these. They have an End the Festivities where, like, that's pretty bad because they get in with all their creatures and wipe our board. We can get the Snackers back, but they're tapped, obviously. But I think I have to swing with the Terror if I'm going to be able to finish this game before they kill us. We do have a Bushwhacker. We didn't draw that land to hold up the Cast of the Fire, so that's pretty rough. So we're going to block 2 of them. Take 4, though, down to 7. Not a comfortable position. They have the Goblin Grenade. Now they just need a Lightning Bolt. We were so close. Draw our free counterspell. Oh, Blue Elemental's right there. We have everything we needed. We needed that second land. Or, excuse me, we needed that 4th land instead of this Breath Weapon. As much as I wanted Breath Weapon the whole game, I really needed a land there so I could play the Cast of the Fire. Then I would have been able to take out those 2 unblocked attackers, which would have meant we stayed at 11 life and they wouldn't have had a Goblin to sacrifice. So if I had drawn that land, we would have been okay. But I'm still pretty happy with how the deck ran. It definitely needs some tune-up. I do think the Stinkweed Imp worked pretty well. Like, there needs to be something else. Maybe I need more terrors, so I need to play Cryptic Serpent, or just some other payoff for having a giant graveyard. I'll probably look into that a little bit more, but it kind of worked. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It was kind of this cool terror spellslinger, but also with Dredge deck. The Snackers were a little hard to get back sometimes, or they ended up in our hands. I think we needed a couple more ways to discard them from hand and also draw two, so I probably need to go like a couple more with the highway robbery effects, maybe cut some of the thought scours for them, or maybe even the faithless lootings. But overall, I thought it played pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with it. We almost got that 4-1. I guess the deck does need a little tuning against mono red, a little bit of life gain in the deck somewhere, and probably another breath weapon. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.